I'm arresting you on suspicion of sexual assault on a female under 16 years old. So you didn't have to say anything. It may harm your defence if you didn't mention one question, something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. So the allegation is that you've touched a child on the inside of the groin. Come over here, I need to search you. Don't cry, it's going to be okay. Come step onto the pavement so I've got a little bit more room. You can leave your shoes on, it's okay. Step onto the pavement here. No, stand up.
I am absolutely fuming. Absolutely fuming. Some might say peeved. A little stronger than that. I'm actually fuming about this because this man here, an asylum seeker. Now, you'll say to yourself, Dougal, why is it important that he's an asylum seeker? It just is, okay? It's just important. We're going to go through this story together. This asylum seeker was recently convicted of essaying a 14-year-old girl and a woman. Epping Hotel asylum seeker jailed after sexually assaulting woman and 14-year-old girl. A lawyer for Hadush Gebrselassie Kabatu, originally from Ethiopia, told the court that he wants to be deported. Well, he's going to get his wish, isn't he? That's exactly what you're going to be doing. Not until after, of course, you serve your time, I hope. An asylum seeker has been sentenced to 12 months in prison after essaying a 14-year-old child and a woman in Epping. The woman was a separate case as well. So twice he essayed two different people. All right. Hadush Gebrselassie Kabatu, 41, had been staying at the Bell Hotel in Essex Town when the incident fueled weeks of protests at the site. You might have heard about those protests, but if you haven't, it's been ongoing because of the risk, to children and to women and just to people in general. The Ethiopian national was found guilty of 2 counts of essay, attempted essay, inciting a girl to engage in sexual activity, and harassment without violence earlier this month. So there's quite a few charges going on there. There's quite a few different ones and quite a few serious ones. Ones that we all take very seriously in this country. It is understood the Home Office will seek to deport Kabatu following his prison sentence. Well, good, because, the last thing we want to do is just to say, right, here's your prison sentence, serve your time, and then reintegrate into our society. We don't do that. We don't want people who commit these sort of offences, and we're not going to invite them into our country. That is the plan anyway. Kabatu's lawyer, Molly Diaz, told Chelmsford Magistrates Court on Tuesday he wanted to be deported, calling it his firm wish and a view he had held before trial. Now, right, don't get me wrong, I love an asylum seeker as much as the next person, right? But surely, if you came to this country because you were under grave danger, yeah, because that's why you come out of one country to our country, is because you are deeming yourself as very unsafe and you need to seek asylum, right? So why would you want to be deported back to that place where you are in grave danger and likely going to be killed? Or something along those lines, right? So why would you be desperate to... our prison system is probably a lot better than that you've just left from, right? Probably. Unless you're lying. Under the UK Borders Act 2007, a deportation order must be made where a foreign national has been convicted of an offence and received a custodial sentence of at least 12 months. Okay. So you know what I'm going to say next, right? Okay, I think that that's a load of shit, right? I do, right? So basically, if you commit an offence, it has to be 12 months or more for you to get deported. My personal view, right? It's only personal view, not saying it's right or wrong, right? Is that if you commit an offence in this country, then you should lose your right to, you know, especially a violent crime or a serious crime, you know, should lose your right to your status in this country. You just send you on your way. Also, that applies to if you have committed an offence in the country where you're coming from to here, you shouldn't be allowed in, right? I don't care what you say, whether you're for or against migrants, illegal immigrants, by the way, for or against asylum seekers. I don't care. I do not want to invite criminals into this country, no matter what the crime is that they have committed. I don't want other people's problems in this country, right? I don't. I know some people will say, "Oh well, you know, you've got your own." The UK has its own criminals, you know. We're used to it, and they're allowed to stay. Yeah, it's because they're born here, right? We don't, as much as we don't want our own criminals either, right? We don't want to invite other people's criminals into the country. That's what I'm saying, right? And I don't think that you can come back at me and tell me that I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong. So this is the Bell Hotel, where there's been much criticism of them for inviting all the asylum seekers. Handing a sentence, District Judge Christopher Williams said the asylum seeker posed a significant risk of reoffending. And that's important to note. He also told the court that Kabatu couldn't have anticipated his offending would cause such a response from the public, particularly in Epping, the judge said, but also across the UK, resulting in mass demonstrations and fear that children in the UK are not safe. And this is, this is important, right? Listen up. It's evident to me that your shame and remorse isn't because of the offences you've committed, but because of the impact they've had. So the judge is saying that this person is remorseful only because of the outcry from other people, not because of the thing that he did. He doesn't think the thing that he did was bad, basically. Kabatu bowed his head to the judge before he was led to the cells. Chelmsford Magistrates Court was told Kabatu had tried to kiss the teenager, put his hand on her thigh and brushed her hair after she offered him pizza. This is a 14-year-old child, don't forget, right? The asylum seeker also told the girl and her friend... Right, okay, so... this is the inciting to commit a sexual activity, right? The asylum seeker told the girl and her friend he wanted to have a baby with them and invited them back to the hotel. This person here is 41 years of age, and he's met a 14-year-old on the street and said, well, tried to kiss her, first of all, and then said, will you come back to my hotel and we'll make a baby? That is sick and disgusting, and there's no place for that in this country at all, right? I keep saying this country because you're going to think that I'm against illegal immigrants, right? You're going to think that I'm against them. But what I'm saying is I'm emphasizing that they're an asylum seeker because it is a very important part of this story, because we've invited him to the country, right? We've invited him, paid for him to be here, given him all the free shit, and then he's tried to do this. The incident... And it gets better. The incident happened on 7th of July, about a week after he arrived in the UK on a boat. So it took him a week, and then tried to do this to a child. The girl later told police she froze and got really creeped out, telling him, "No, I'm 14. Kabatu was also... Alright, and this gets even worse here. Kabatu was also found guilty of sexually assaulting a woman, putting his hand on her thigh and trying to kiss her. Again, when she tried to intervene after seeing him talking to the girl again the following day. So according to this, Kabatu tried to get with the same girl the next day after harassing her the first day, and then when this woman tried to intervene and stop him, he tried to kiss her as well. He denied all the charges but was convicted earlier this month. Kabatu knew Epping is in chaos over actions. Okay, and if you didn't think it could get any worse, it just did. Prosecutor Stuart Cowan, discussing pre-sentencing report, said Kabatu admitted he didn't know the UK was so strict, even though he knew the Ethiopian age of consent was 18. He didn't know the UK was so strict. So basically he thought he could come here and just do whatever he wanted to a child, right? Kabatu understood that Epping is in chaos because of what he did, and that he had got a lot of migrants in trouble, Mr. Cowan said. He added that the asylum seeker felt very sad and felt a lot of remorse, but added the word manipulative is used within the report. Victim, wearing skirt makes me feel vulnerable. Mr. Cowan also read statements from both victims, with the 14-year-old girl, who cannot be named for legal reasons, saying she is now checking over my shoulder when she is out with friends. She said she prepared the statement so that the man who did this to me understands what he has done to me, a 14-year-old girl. She continued, every time I go out with my friends, I'm checking over my shoulder. Wearing a skirt now makes me feel vulnerable and exposed. Seeing the bench where the essay took place reminds me of everything that happened. The adult woman who was essayed by Kabatu and who also cannot be named for legal reasons said, since the incident I feel both angered and frustrated. He did not even appear to know what he's done was wrong. And that's one of the dangers, isn't it? These asylum seekers are coming from different countries where the laws and rules and opinions and feelings towards women and children are very much different to our own, and they think that they can do whatever they want to these vulnerable people in this country. So what are your thoughts about this? I mean, you may be for or against them. You may invite them into your homes and your lives, and that's great for you if that's what you want to do. You might be against it entirely, but either way, criminals should not be allowed into the country. We should not be allowing them to come and do this. Plus, this man, Kabatu, got 12 months only for his crimes, Do you think that's a long enough stint? Because not forgetting he'll be out in about 6 or maybe even 4 months, that is. Is that a suitable punishment or deterrent? Do you think that he should be gone away for longer? Do you think that maybe he should have been deported straight away? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. That's great. Thank you all so much. Give this video a massive thumbs up. Share it wide. Shout it loud. And subscribe to the channel for more.